Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jason, back at it again with another Geography Now reaction video. Uh, Today we're gonna be reacting to Geography Now Thailand. I'm a little late, but you know what? It's better late than never. I don't know if that's how it goes. So, yes, guys, side part Jason finally makes his return. Got a haircut like last week. Shortened it, and yeah, now we're back to the side part. So I do want to apologize for not uploading. It's just a lot of things happened over the last time I uploaded. Obviously, I got the haircuts. I took my pre-ACT. I mean, I would say I did well, but deep down, I kind of know that I just did terrible. I know I did terrible. But anyways, I'm not allowed to speak about that. Well, maybe I'll try once I get my score, but I really don't want to because I know I failed. So that's quite it. And also I took a little break because, well, making 40-minute videos kind of take a while and suck the life out of me. In other words, I'm pretty lazy. So yeah. Anyways, let's just get started with this video. Pretty short video compared to the other ones, just 33 minutes. Let's just get started with this video in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I don't even really have to give much of an introduction. You've all heard of Thailand.
Yeah,
This country
let's talk about Thailand for a bit. Thailand, you know, it's in Southeast Asia, and you know they used to be part of French Indochina imperialism. We're really getting close to that AP test coming soon.
Porn.
Yeah. Alright, Barbs. I'm kind of glad I was on some different conversation before I heard this, but like I said, AP test coming. I'm kind of scared, but you know, hey,
Thailand,
at least I don't get to make videos because I'll be busy studying.
Julie, our next co-host. Say hi, Julie. How you doing? Yay! Oh, also we got Anya and Som. They're also going to be in this episode. Later on in the episode, you'll see them.
I'm sorry, but like when he should make like a remake to like
also
Geography Drama, and I could be.
We're not Taiwan.
Don't get it confused. No.
No,
all right?
not confused.
Let's
Taiwan.
see it, shall we?
Nah, just stop. Just stop.
They are the crossroads of the Sinosphere and Indosphere and the Malay world, and they have the inland mountains and the coastal waters.
And there's so much going on.
First of all, the country is located in Southeast Asia on what is commonly referred to as the Indo-Chinese Peninsula, bordering 4 other countries, and is shaped like Dumbo the flying elephant with a really long disfigured trunk.
I blame this on imperialism, bro. You see Africa, bro? Africa be like a whole mess. And you got some civil wars happening. It's like a normal daily basis, though.
That's not even the narrowest section, though. At the very end of the border with Cambodia at the Trat province, they have a section that is only 450 meters wide until you hit the border from the coast. Oh, and speaking of provinces, the country is made up of 76 of them, known as Changwat. Keep in mind, all the provinces are also named after their capitals or namesake cities, so you don't have to memorize anything extra. Also, each province has its own flag. They look pretty cool, usually based on Buddhist undertones. In addition, there are 2 special districts, which are cities that act with the same administrative level as a province. The capital, Bangkok, and Pattaya. The capital and largest city of the country, of course, is Bangkok, classified as one of the world's mega cities, with a larger metropolitan population at around 14 million as of 2022. Here, of course, you can find the 2 busiest airports.
We got New York and NYCFC.
International Airport on the southeast side.
Yeah, man. I'm just excited for CONCACAF Champions League. I know you guys love CONCACAF. I'll maybe upload like a pixel gun and then maybe get back to that LAFC Road to Miracle because I haven't uploaded that. I still know it's there. It's just I don't want to upload every week because I don't know. I think people just get bored. I think what I should do is I should make the CONCACAF Champions League videos weekly instead of just putting it all. I don't know why. 40 minutes though. It's too much work, in my opinion. different, so
conveniently attached by a
why not
bridge
just
to the
do
mainland. The
one
country has
week?
4 main domestic rail lines
And they
that
could be
reach
like
every
more
corner of the
descriptive,
country,
so
connecting to all their
maybe.
neighbors except
I'll
Myanmar.
I'll
There
think
used to be a
about
line
that.
now known as the Death Railway, but it was discontinued after World War II. Today they are working on rebuilding it though.
Death
Finally, Thailand has
Railway.
2
I
international
wanna
land
know what
disputes, one with Cambodia
so
over the
death
hill of
about
Phnom
it.
Trap with the Preah Vihar temple, and the other with Malaysia here on
I
these
do know that these
incredibly
guys were
small
occupied
rocks
by
in the middle of the sea
Japanese,
known
so
as Okra and
yeah.
Bosin Island.
Well,
Bosin has a
by the
small
way, we're not
lighthouse,
in
and
the
that's about
World
it.
War
Oh, and
II
it's not a
unit yet.
dispute,
We're
but
in the
Thailand also has
interwar
this weird
period,
salient
so
called the Three Pagodas Pass
still
that
a
juts into the
couple
Burmese town of
70
Hayatonsu
years
along the
left,
border. This is one of the only
and
few
then
places
AP
where
test
tourists are
time.
allowed
Oh
to get
no,
a
I'm not
one-day visa to
ready.
enter into
I'm
Myanmar
not
from
ready.
Thailand if they wish. Just that I throw
And
in.
then after
Keep in
that,
mind,
you know,
oftentimes
2 weeks
Thai
of
people
school,
also
and
divide
then
their
boom,
country into
summer.
4 to 6 cultural
There's
regions.
not a lot of
What are these cultural regions,
football or
They are
soccer
the northern
competitions. Yeah.
Thailand, Lana.
There's the
and
draw this
northern
Friday,
eastern
but I'm gonna
Thailand,
be
Isan,
gone, so
central Thailand, Siam,
it might be a little.
and
I'm gonna do
southern
that. I'm gonna do a
Thailand.
draw video too.
Tundra Linga?
Yeah.
Wow, you never used that word.
No.
Wow. So how do you say southern Thailand in Thai?
Pak Thai. It's like literally
Pad
south.
Thai.
Yeah.
Correct me if anything is wrong, please.
Okay.
Now, also in regards to Bangkok, Thais actually do not call it Bangkok.
Barbs in
so,
hot water.
How do you say
Ugh.
Bangkok in Thai?
Okay, so กรุงเทพมหานครอมรรัตนโกสินทร์มหินทราอยุธยามหาดิลกพบนพรัตน์ราช
It's actually impressive how, like,
อุดมราชนิเวศมหาสถาน
I could say with
อมรพิมานอวตาร
Asian
สถิต
languages,
สักกะ
like people can read
ทัน
these.
ทิยะวิษ
Like
ณุ
as
ประสิทธิ์
an English speaker, it just looks like a
Literally the
whole.
longest name
I would
of
be
any
like a
city in the
journeyman.
world with
I would be
space
like
in it. Now,
myself
for many
during
years,
the
Bangkok was listed
pre-ACT,
as the
yeah,
world's
a
most
journeyman,
visited city
just
with over 22
trying my
million
best,
tourists, meaning that for the
just
first time in the 21st
not
century,
trying to
they
just
crossed
get
Paris,
sunk
and
by
you
a
literally
quicksand.
are from there.
We have 24 hours of food, and we have night market. We have an early morning market, and we have great temples.
Okay, enough about Bangkok though.
Hey,
Another
man.
thing you have to understand
Have
is
you
that
seen
Thailand
Cambodia?
is
They got some
administratively
good-
a constitutional monarchy. Who is the king, Julie?
Got some
King
good temples over there.
Maharashtratlongkorn, or Rama X of
Constitutional
Chakri dynasty, taking
monarchy?
the throne after his father died
Who was
in
it that did? It was
2016.
like,
He is believed
yeah,
to be
the
one of
English
richest
did it
monarchs
first
in the
because, you
world,
know,
and
the
since
Civil
2020
War,
has pretty much spent
James
most of his
the
time
First,
living in the
I think it
area
was,
during the
yeah.
pandemic. As a constitutional monarchy, all government affairs are handled by the National Assembly and Prime Minister
Nah,
since
man, I gotta
1932.
remember like
Nonetheless,
500
even though the
years,
king's
bro.
role is
It's gonna be
restricted by
hard
the
to remember the rest of
constitutional
us. That was
law,
a
he still
boring
holds
unit.
a huge level of power and influence, mostly thanks to the Thailand.
Lèse-majesté laws.
Yes.
This means that people who criticize the king, his family, and even their pets can face heavy charges if it's strong or not.
No comment.
I saw a video on
Moving on.
TikTok.
Much
It,
of
it
what
was
is
some
now
guy making
Thailand
fun of
started
the.
to develop
I think it was
about
like the
1,000 years ago
Indonesian
when
king,
this person,
or I think it was a
Thaksin
Singapore.
Singh in Talatip,
I think it was
crowned
Indonesia,
himself
yeah.
the first
Indonesia,
king during the Sukhothai era in
It was either the
1238.
archipelagos
Later, the Ayutthaya
of
Kingdom formed
Indonesia,
and eventually unified them in 1448 under King, how do you say that?
maybe
Ramesuan.
Malaysia,
Ramesuan.
The northern
and
areas
Singapore.
known as Lana
It was either
had
the
their
Wall
own
Street. I
things
saw
going
this guy
on,
just
divided into five
rambling on
kingdoms.
this.
Long
guy
story
from the
short, they
king.
had a bunch of wars with Burma, what is now Myanmar. The Portuguese were the first Europeans to come in. They called it Siam.
So
Over
it's so
time,
is
the
Portuguese.
global
They just
interaction
like
developed
space.
more than yet they never in
It's like
became
spice trees.
colonized. We've never been colonized.
Also, you know
World
what I
War
hate
was
as
what
well?
the
I take
time
like a
that
little
people in
break as
Japan
well.
got really close
And
to
then
war
once
in World
I
War
see this
II, but
video
it
and I
was
try,
like,
you know,
All right,
I tried yesterday making it.
Consider who's surrounding us. That
I get
might not
sick.
be a good idea.
No, I'm sick
Okay,
today.
but you have to give me free passage and join us against the Allied
I'm still
powers.
going on the field trip on Friday though.
Wait.
So I don't care.
officially declare war on the U.S. and Britain. Oh, I am not delivering this news to them. Hey, allies, I totally didn't mean to declare war on you guys. It was just a joke
I need to
make
stop
it look like
talking
we
about
were
different
against
things
Japan.
because
Like,
I'm
you declared war on me? No, I wasn't even.
I can't tell what's going on.
Woo! Saved by indifference.
You guys remember Aaron? He was in the Sylvan Talk episode.
and yeah, they got by.
Yeah,
Hey man,
colonized.
April
Even
coming
when
on Friday.
In any case, with 6 UNESCO
Can't wait to see it.
heritage sites, over 40,000 temples, Thailand is never short of notable places to see.
And with that, Som, why don't you take this? The notable places of Thailand. Som, you got this. We're out.
Okay, so my most favorite place in Thailand, PP, that's like on the south of Thailand.
Nah,
It's
bro,
a
show me that,
very
bro.
beautiful
Cause then I
island.
get summer vibes,
Chiang
and
Mai,
then
definitely
I'm gonna miss.
visit. There's a lot of culture.
I'm gonna miss
Chiang
summer
Mai,
because
that's like
right
a
now,
place that you can
well, it's getting
actually
warmer,
visit,
but
like, a
oh
lot of
man, I hate the
elephant. They
cold.
have, like,
I
a
just don't know
elephant-
how
what do I call it?
people can be winter
Sanctuary.
people.
You can also
I just hate the
try
snow.
people
There's
at,
something about it
in a
that
mountain
just
in an
don't like.
Ayutthaya was capital city of Thailand like 100 years ago before they moved to Bangkok. Old temple building, old
There
palace.
is
On the west is
old
the city called
temples,
Kanchanaburi that has a
but
lot of
them
beautiful
Cambodians
waterfall. In
have
the
some
central of Thailand is called
iconic
Lopburi.
ones. I
That's
don't
like
want to
a
say
city
better. I would
that's
say
monkey
iconic.
everywhere. It's pretty interesting. People not gonna rob you. It's gonna be monkey to try to steal stuff from you. It's really funny, but you gotta be careful if you go to that city. My favorite place that I always go is called Khao San Road, and then there's a lot of street food there on that street. You just
You know,
visit.
I think
Thank
my
you,
favorite
Tom.
part about
Well,
these
we are just getting
videos
started because
is
part
looking
of
at the
reason Thailand is so
large
colorful
cities, and
because
then I'm like,
naturally it just
man,
is
I want to
that way.
visit
That
there.
means we
But
move on to the
then
next segment.
it comes to realization that I don't have $2,000 on me.
So thanks to its
So,
location in the tropics,
yeah,
Thailand
traveling
is no
there
stranger to
can,
extreme
be
nature conditions.
You'll definitely see the side of Thailand
very hard
if
for me.
visiting.
Thailand is located at the convergence of three major tectonic plates, the Australian, Indian, and Eurasian plates, with numerous fault lines cracking mostly throughout the west and northern parts of the country. These fault zones are essentially what create the shield of mountain ranges, like the Dangrek, Phetchabun, the Dona, and the Thai Highlands, where you can also find the highest peak of the country, Doi Intanon. In between these mountains, you have two incredibly lush and fertile flat areas, the central plain, known as the Chao Phraya River Valley, and to the east, Korat Plateau, where you can find the longest river fully within Thailand, the Chi River. Otherwise, Thailand shares the mighty Mekong River on the border with Laos. The largest natural lake in Thailand is way down south, Songkhla Lake, which is divided into three parts, and it does have an opening to the Bay of Thailand at the bottom part by the town of Songkhla, which is why the lake has partly salty,
Port
brackish
City.
water. Otherwise, up in the mountains in the west, the Sinakarin Dam is the largest reservoir in the country at over 17 billion cubic meters of water. Finally, the country is split up mostly into two separate climate zones. The upper part of the nation mostly lies in the tropical
Not a
savanna
quiz
or tropical
tomorrow.
monsoon zone, whereas
Geometry.
the Kra Isthmus falls in the tropical
Okay.
rainforest zone. The country has
We
three
got
main
like a
seasons
month and a
throughout
half
the year:
left.
the cool, dry season between November and February, the hot season from March to May, and the monsoon season from June to October. During this time, the country is prone to the occasional typhoon on the east coast or cyclone to the west. Quick terminology recap: cyclones are for the southern hemisphere and Indian Ocean, whereas typhoon is for East Asian Pacific.
Typhoons.
Typhoons. Typhoons! Well, I just know that Thailand is very humid.
In
A lot
North
of
America, we got
mosquitoes.
hurricane.
I have a really
I mean,
bad allergic to
it's nothing
mosquitoes.
wrong
When
with
you go
it.
back to Thailand, it's like
It's like
But
a
allergic
do or
reaction
die.
I don't know, typhoon sound like
I
a cool
know.
name, you
Well,
know.
in any case, Thailand is classified as
Of
newly
a hurricane.
industrialized country, making the 8th largest economy in Asia. Second, Southeast Asia after Indonesia. When it comes to business, Thailand is
Really?
a hustler and
I would
we're
say
good at it.
I
walking down
thought
the
it would be
alleyways
like
in Bangkok, you'll
Vietnam
find
because
almost
you know
any type of vendor or profession, whether
them
legitimate
doing
or
big stuff.
questionable.
We always
That's
have legitimate
their
industry.
capital
What are you
city
talking
that I
about?
People
can't
always
remember
go
what
towards
it's
the
called.
wacky side, though. It's like,
Yeah,
there's
that's a
real stuff.
stereotype.
Yeah.
For one, since the 80s, Thailand has designated 25% of land area of forest protection and 15% of timber production. In addition, they are huge on the electronic sector, making up almost a fifth of all exports.
Now here's where things start to kind of get into the gray zone-ish area. For Thailand, much of the economic activity and numbers are hard to accurately calculate because there is an entire informal sector with underground market activity.
This is sometimes called a
Oh,
shadow
wow.
economy. This could be anything
Underground.
from unreported or misreported vendor sales or illicit black market dealings.
Thailand lies, everybody knows this,
Oh,
within the
no.
Golden Triangle. We already talked about this in
Drugs?
previous episodes,
Oh,
overlapping
no.
three
I
countries
can't say
in
that.
Southeast
Oh,
Asia, which
sorry.
are widely
I
known
meant
as the second
bad
largest
substances.
opium-producing area on Earth after the Golden Crescent in the Middle East. Nonetheless, the government has been cracking down on these types of dealings and has been putting a heavier emphasis on a more positive sectors like tourism, the most obvious one.
Thailand tourism industry makes
Tourists.
up nearly a fifth of GDP
Like
today
me,
and is
but
projecting to grow
like
to
I said,
30%
I don't got
by 2030.
Instagram
grand
once
on me.
ranked Thailand as one of the top ranked photograph locations on Earth.
Thailand offers many different types of tourism from medical, gastronomical, sport, and even nature tourism.
And speaking of nature, here's Gary Harlow to explain.
Yeah, Caleb's not here, but you know, the hat turns anybody into Gary Harlow. So what's going on, man? Ian, it's your turn.
Oh, man! Oh, whoa! So, thanks to their tropical
Why?
climate, Thailand is
Why?
definitely brimming
Even with
creatures
the
of all
edit,
sorts.
still
There
doesn't
are
help
156
with the cheesy
national
moment.
parks, 58 wildlife sanctuaries, 67 non-hunting areas, and 100.
He don't even sound like Australian. He just sounds like some
of the entire country's territory.
person
There's
from,
over
like,
280 mammal species. Everything from
Montgomery,
leopards to
Alabama.
Malaysian sun
I don't.
bears, gibbons,
I try to think of like a
coyotes,
random
coyotes,
southern
subspecies.
state,
of
city, but
tigers.
I just can't.
Tigers.
I came up with
That'll
Montgomery.
wake you up in the morning. And speaking of felines, the Siamese cat.
I wish I was in the morning, bro. I'm not ready for the morning. Because then I gotta go to school.
Now
And
here
then,
you can also find the
I
smallest
know.
mammal on Earth, called the
I just want the
Kitti's
weekend to
hard-nosed
come,
bat, or
even
the
though the
buffalo.
weekend
Now
came.
Thailand claims to have the world's first
It's a
and
Monday,
largest
too.
crocodile farm. Now finally, we cannot forget the national animal, the Thai elephant. Today there's about 3,500 elephants that are in captivity and about 1,000 estimated elephants in the wild. Now elephants are widely revered in Thailand and have played an important role in the country's history, and especially to the royal family where the white elephant is
Oh,
their
yes,
symbol.
they
And the
have a
king
flag of
specifically
that.
keeps a
I
small
think they
number
have.
of white
They
Thai
used to have a
elephants.
flag
They're
of
presented at
the
special
elephants
events
in
and
their
Thai
national
people and
flag,
elephants,
but then they take
like
it away,
to-
and they have.
You know what you know it. Now it looks
blue
like I'm
and
gonna have to face
red.
my way out of here. So I'm just gonna, hey, what is happening to me?
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, Thailand's
No,
land
just
is
stop and
never
just
short
move
of
on.
provision.
End
At
the
one
segment.
time, they were even the #1 provider of rice in the world. And today, their
19th
cow
century.
millet has been declared the world's best rice 7 times out of 13 World Rice Conferences.
Thailand is heavy on gastro diplomacy, which the government initiated in the Global Thai Program launched in 2002. Basically, it's a culinary diplomacy initiative that they fund in order to promote Thailand via food across the world.
This is why you can find Thai restaurants in some of the most remote places on earth.
Even like the Arctic, Svalbard, Norway has a Thai restaurant. To talk
Bro.
more about food, why don't we bring up Anya?
That's actually. I would want to go
Guys,
there.
Sorry, I like Looney Tunes.
I
so
wanna go
that's
there
my
now.
commentary.
It's Norway too, so.
Okay? The street vendor culture is so huge in Thailand. We never sleep on the street, off the street, in a small alley. I think most people going out instead of cooking in. Like every region, they have their own food culture. Like in the north part of Thailand, khao soi. Khao soi is like a kind of noodle, curry noodle. On top
I
of
could
the
use
noodle,
noodles, to
they're
be
gonna
honest,
have
bro.
the crispy
I'm kinda
noodle
hungry,
on top of that noodle
but
again. And when you
then
eat
again,
you
it
mix
is like
all
midnight.
together with the pickle
It's like
and red
12:43,
onion.
so
Noodle or noodle.
I'm just
The
gonna
sauce,
like
I would
starve
say
myself
the
until
most
I eat
spicy
tomorrow
Thai
morning
food. They have like gang tai pra,
at lunch in
cooking,
school
which is
because
it
I
could
don't
be
eat
ribs
breakfast.
or ground pork. Central, I think the most normal thing that people know is green curry or red curry. Khao man gai, pad see-ew, pad thai, tom yum.
Like the most popular ones you find at Thai restaurants are
Yes,
central.
like normal stuff. The northeast, my region, they have like a million kind of papaya salad. The taste is gonna be like sweet and it come with peanut. Or you can have Isan or Lao styles, which is that come with like fermented anchovy fish sauce, which is we call it tam pu pala, or like fermented crab,
on to the next
fermented
episode.
fish sauce.
Making me
Another
hungry.
dish is like larb, and they usually have it with sticky rice. The main dessert for me, I think, is mango sticky rice. I have my favorite spot, Mavari.
Mango
I think at
with
Pak
dessert,
Soi
huh?
Thong Law, which is the best mango sticky rice in town for me.
Thank you, Anya. Two other things we should also mention. Thailand is one of the largest entomophagous countries on earth. That is, nations that have a high rate of insect consuming.
And you can
Oh,
find
no.
that in the street stalls pretty much
No,
everywhere
señor.
on Kelson Road.
No,
and it's like a
señor.
very
No quiero
snack
comer
that you can
los
just enjoy.
insectos.
Also, Red Bull was invented in Thailand.
Protein,
That's
bro.
dang,
And it is stronger out there, isn't it?
way stronger.
There was
No, but
actually a
Red Bull
report from
be
Cuisine
hidden
International
different in
that
like
stated Thai people
Southeast
consume
Asia.
more
It's
energy
just
drinks than any other country in the
more,
world,
yeah,
averaging
more
about
energy
11.4
drinks, more
liters per
other
person.
flavors,
That's 4
bro.
times more than us Americans.
Well, we do
Nah,
have
but
one.
who's drinking Red Bull
Speaking
too,
of the
though?
energy of the
Like,
people, that brings us to the next segment.
where I live, though, like, no one's ever saying,
so I'm
"Hey,
Julie.
I'm
Answer
thirsty.
the
You want to
question,
grab
what
a Red
is
Bull?"
a Thai person? Go.
Thai person
like,
is like
Hey man,
Thai.
if you drink Red Bull, I don't got a
That's why we
problem with
call
that.
them
It's just
smiles.
I don't know anyone that
Yeah,
drinks
we
it,
are.
so
I think we
yeah,
are an
I think
empath.
that's a good thing.
We're an empath.
We could be crazy sometimes.
Yes.
But hey,
One
man,
thing that's for sure,
Insects,
Thais are very proud of being Thai.
nah,
Every day
proteins.
at 8 p.m. and 6 p.m., the national anthem is played on loud speakers.
Everybody just stops.
And people would just stop for 40 seconds and stand there until it's over.
Anyway, the makeup of Thailand is very interesting too, and here's how it kind of breaks down.
For one, Thailand has about 70 million people, and the government officially recognizes 62 ethnic communities naturally found within the
Pretty
country.
diverse,
The
I would
largest group
say.
of peoples, of course, are the ethnic Thai people at somewhere around 86% of the population. However, it's a little more complicated. The Thais are kind of broken up into specific groups, the largest ones being the Korat Thai, or the Central Thai people that are spread throughout most of the central parts of the country. They make up about 39% of the population. From there, the next largest group would be the Isan, or Thai Lao, mostly found near the border of Lao. They make up about 28% of the population. From there, you have the Konwang at about 10%, and Southern Thai at about 9%. The largest non-Thai groups, though, would be Malays, mostly in the border with Malaysia at about 4%. Cambodian or Khmer peoples, mostly in the border with Cambodia, make up about 2%, and about 8% of the country belongs to other groups, a huge chunk of this being Chinese.
Thailand currency is baht. They use the types of ANC plug outlets, and the drive is on the left side of the road.
Yeah, they simply just did it because most of their neighbors were doing it, and they just wanted to join along.
Neighbors, bro. Their neighbors are driving right.
Now, here's where things get a little confusing. Thailand actually has the largest
But
Chinese community outside
I don't know.
of Thailand at somewhere around 10 million, or about a 7.
I want to know,
This group
how
of
does it
Chinese
feel
people,
driving on the
Sino
left?
Thai people, are
I've always
actually fully
driven on the
assimilated
right,
into Thai
but what
society
does it
and
look
often
like?
just call
I
themselves
feel like it'd
Thai.
be
They are
more
mostly from
confusing.
southern China called
Whole lot of
Manchu in the
confusion trying to get the whole new
Gangneung
system to get in place.
Because
you're so used to driving on the right.
Could have at least one Chinese ancestor.
And then the
Today, most of them have
directions you
actually
turn
adopted
can
Thai
make you
last
so
names, or at least
confuzzled.
use Chinese last names and add Thai words to the end due to a law that states that people are not allowed to have the same last name if they are not related.
Well, in any case, the Thai language is completely different from Chinese. It's actually part of the Thai language group, which is related to Shan language in Myanmar and Lao in Laos.
How much Lao can you guys understand?
60%?
60, 70%? Would you say Lao people can understand Thai better?
Did he
Of
do
course,
Laos?
because
Yeah,
they
he covered
consume
Laos.
our entertainment.
We're in T.
So the
Yeah.
Thai alphabet, or abugida, is made up of 44 consonant symbols and 16 vowel indicators.
Every Thai person knows the 44 pictures that go with the 44 consonants of the Thai script, from G, chicken, to H, owl.
Otherwise, Thai is a tonal language spoken with 5 tones, meaning you can make an entire sentence using just one syllable but changing the tone. For example,
Oh, I'm not doing that.
So that is like ไม่ไหม้ไม่ไหม้ new so doesn't burn. I love this one ป่าป่าป่าป่าป่า
all right.
ส้มหิวข้าวแล้วนะ ขับไปเลยไม่ต้องไปส่งที่บ้านนี่ขับตามกันไปเลยเนี่ย
I'm gonna add subtitles.
Now, officially, Thailand has freedom of religion. However, the vast majority are Buddhist at about 95% of the population.
This makes Thailand the country with the second highest Buddhist population in the world after China, even though China is only about 20% Buddhist. It's interesting though,
got a
Thai
lot of
Buddhism has a
population,
lot
huh?
of traditional Thai folklore and Hindu overlap within it. Within temples and shrines, you might see many Hindu or folk deities depicted like Brahma.
What is the spirit house? You put it there and then do some kind of ritual, ceremony to bless in that house.
For a blessing.
Yeah, for a blessing, so that that spiritual figure will protect your home from harm.
And you find them everywhere in Thailand. And they usually give them offerings like flowers, incense, fruits, and for some reason a lot of them have like strawberry Fanta. That's like a thing I see.
Strawberry Fanta.
The color
Yeah.
red, right? Thailand also has a heavy
Fuck
culture of
that,
short-term Buddhist ordination in which many men are encouraged to serve
I
as
don't
monks
even
for a
know
period of
Fanta
time.
makes
Monks are not
strawberry.
allowed to touch women unless if it's like an emergency, like if their mom is
No,
dying.
they
or
do
something.
in like
Now,
other
going to Thailand,
countries.
you will
I went
notice
to
how
like
much the
a
royal
different
family
country
is
in December,
integrated
and
into
then
daily
like
life.
Every neighborhood
there's
has
other
a
different
shop that sell
Fantas.
approved images of
Why
them.
can't we have that?
Always on
Fanta
wall.
We
USA.
won't get
Why
too
would we
much
just
into it
gotta
because
only
it'll
have
take way too long to
oranges?
explain. It's a hot button issue amongst the people, but essentially Thailand has had many controversial monarchy-related incidences within their history. We're not going to get much more into this. If you want to say stuff, write it in the comments. Otherwise,
Politics.
we're going to just move on.
Hey,
No comment.
Barb's
Well,
just
let's move on.
Okay.
doesn't
What
like
better way to move
politics. He
on,
just
Paul?
Mhm.
Sport.
Sports.
6 sentences
And
and
with
moves
that,
on.
here's Art with the sports part.
It's geography sports time. He's so light. All right, so let's start off
So
with the
random.
Asian Games. Bangkok has
Hey,
hosted them more
I
than
love
any
this.
other
They
country
bought
in
this.
Southeast Asia. Moreover, Thailand has hosted more SCA games as well. Thailand also ranks high in badminton competitions, which is actually one of my favorite sports. I like
Batman.
Did you know that?
No,
When I was in high school, I used
bro.
to play a lot. For some reason, I always liked hitting that little birdie. Punish that little thing, you know?
Punish the little thing.
Thailand usually ranks number 1 in Southeast Asia for football, soccer.
Football.
These two guys
Don't say
here
that,
are
man. I
probably
hate
the
when
most
people are
famous
like,
footballers
football.
in Thailand. Alexander Albon is actually the only F1 racer
Nah,
known
but
in Thailand. Thailand
I
in
do
total
make fun
has
of him though,
35
like,
medals
bro,
in the
Batman, bro.
Olympics, and 10 of those are actually gold.
Batman, bro. Nah, bro.
Two
You like
fives.
this
10. The three
first
events
person to say that they
Thailand
like
has done
Batman, bro.
well in the Olympics: weightlifting, boxing, and taekwondo. And speaking of combat sports, the moment you have all been waiting for. Best sport
Yeah,
ever
the camera
from
focusing.
Thailand, Muay Thai, known as the art of 8 limbs. You can hit with your fists, your shins, your elbows, and your knees. And then pow, the
Yeah,
match
she
begins.
fall.
But do not touch people on the top of the head. It's a big no-no in Thai culture. Oh, speaking of fighting, let's talk about Krabi Krabon. This is a traditional Thai weapon martial art form. The bodyguards of the royal family must be highly trained in this martial art form as well. Competitions and performances are really cool to watch. And finally, Thailand used to take part in this unique elephant polo competition known as the King's Cup. In 2018, though, it was announced that the competition would be discontinued after complaints filed by PETA. No more elephant polo. Well, they definitely complained
Is this
about
a joke
the
or
elephants, but
no,
not the
really?
horses. What's up with that, PETA? Carchin segment on
PETA.
Starting Now is never going to be ended by PETA. That's it for me.
I thought they were like for pets
Thank
and
you,
stuff.
Art.
Well, fun fact about Thais, we're very competitive.
What?
with
Nah,
beauty
this gotta be a
pageants.
joke.
On any given day, there
PETA,
will be
that's so
probably
random.
some kind of beauty pageants going on with different types of people, and there's a lot of expectations.
So much to talk about with Thailand's culture. So with that,
Expectations.
here's Random Hannah to give you just a few more general overview factoids of Thai culture.
Hi guys, it's good to be back. And remember, you can get a Random Hannah shirt at geographynow.com.
He's wearing it.
First thing, in Thailand, if you are on the phone receiving
Hey, I'm
Thai
surprised
you might see
Bars
the
didn't
number
do a little
5
quick
lot,
blog
because in Thai,
at the
number
beginning of
5
the
is
intro.
most hot. So they're really just laughing. Ha ha ha. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Every Thai at birth is given a nickname in addition to their regular name. It's based on an old superstition that evil spirits, or BSAT, these evil spirits are apparently constantly on the lookout for newborn children, and these nicknames apparently confuse them.
Sorry.
Common nicknames include things like tadpole, fat, mouse, swan, and orange. At special
Orange
occasions,
and
you will
fat.
often see people wearing
Alright.
traditional clothing. For women, a common thing you can see is the sing. It's an ankle-length silk tube skirt. And for men, you can find a chung kraven, which is a lower body silk wrap pant garment. There are so many quirks and customs in Thailand. Everywhere you'll find the
I don't know
number
about
one
you,
is the
though.
beckoning lady
There
statue
should be
that
a
is said to bring
fashion
business
segment.
and love. She always whispers. The number
A
9
little
is
weird
the
coming
symbol
from
of
your boy
favorite
Jason,
emperor.
but I don't know.
Emperors are huge.
She's going on about fashion,
Emperors
so
have altars on their dashes. Potted
it
plants
would be
and
interesting.
my
Or is it
a
on
huge thing
filmography? I don't
because
know. I
it
really
dates
don't
back
watch
to
that
the Ayutthaya
much.
period, in which people needed to keep plants
Like,
and crops
I
portable
watched it
in
one
case floods
time, but it was
washed
for
them away.
like the
Thai
lights.
people are
And I went,
obsessed with
no.
aromatherapy. They're most popular in
But
the
yeah,
form
there should
of
be
herbal balm
a
and
history
this
though.
right here is called yadong. Thank you, Geography
Fashion
Channel, for
segment,
sharing
you
this
know.
on Black Friday. You will see people
That and
be shoved
Geography
up
now
their
would be
noses
10
everywhere in
out of 10.
Thailand. Did you shove this in your nose and then give it to me?
Not that one. I took the green one.
Thais are also
Why would
really
you
into
shove it in your
astrology.
nose,
I'm an
Barbs?
Aquarius. I don't know what that means, but this even ties into every day of the week. Each day of the week has a color code pertaining
Oh
to
my God.
each astrology god. So you might find people wearing more of a certain color on a certain day. In addition, there are a series of taboos and traditions that follow each day. For example, on Wednesday, you're not allowed to cut things, so often barbershops are closed on Wednesdays. And finally, Thailand has so many festivals and events they celebrate. It would take forever to list them all, but here are a few of the biggest ones. The Magic Tattoo Festival, Festival of Lights, the Monkey Buffet Festival. I want to go to that one. Buddhist festivals like Buddha's birthday, and Maga Puja. The largest and most popular one, though, is the Songkran Festival. It is celebrated throughout all of Southeast Asia. People shoot water guns and splash each other with water, and everyone gets soaked.
I miss
know
summer.
who I would shoot a water gun at. My
I
husband.
just want to
because
go
he
to
gets
like
hot.
a water park and
Anyways,
then
whatever, here's
swim
Keith's
and
music
swim
segment.
and
Subscribe to
jump
YouTube
around
for
where
more
all the
info.
water is. Just jump around, splashy splash. Go down the slide where the slide goes. Woo! But he's just saying California.
Thailand knows music, and it seems everything in life incorporates it. Even before Muay Thai matches, they play music as fighters do their ritual dances. Thais will probably
he's
say
looking
the
at his
two largest
script. He's
traditional
looking at his
styles
script.
are Luk Tung and Mor Lam. Luk Tung is a country folk style with lyrics
No.
that eclectic
You can't be
trials and
doing that.
tribulations of
You
rural
have to
life.
look at the
Every Thai
camera.
person will say
That's
these
alright, I
people
do that
are
too.
Probably the most iconic folk artists.
Jason has
Otherwise,
stupid
Morlam
videos.
is mostly performed in the northeast
Some
part of the
videos.
country, close to
If you
Laos.
like
It is described
last year in
as
the
being
summer,
folk
I
but
just looked
faster with a funk
directly
feel,
at the
funky feel,
script.
if you will. Usually, folk music is accompanied by traditional instruments such as these. I'm gonna point to this list right here. Thailand
just doesn't
dance
wanna
is
just
also pretty crazy
pronounce
to
it.
watch, especially Khon. It is Thailand's traditional mask dance done with golden costumes, which is pretty dope because who doesn't love gold? Everybody loves gold. In fact, most Thai people are capable of doing complex double-jointed dance gestures. I don't know, does this mean I'm double-jointed? Otherwise, since the 90s, Thai pop, or T-pop, has been ever-growing in the music industry. Some top performers you suggested include this list right here. And before I go, one band in particular that I must mention because, well, I'm Keith and I love metal bands, and we all know this at this point. There's a band from Thailand which is called Retrospect, and they have a song called Betrayed. Really great song, really great band. The Sumerian core era of like bands like Born of Osiris, and those influences spread throughout the world. But anyways, that's it for me. Thank you so much all to the Thai subscribers. You guys are really great, and
Okay,
that's
look
it
at
for
him
me.
go.
Thank you, Keith.
Well, that was a lot.
A lot. What are your favorite festivals of Thailand?
Well, it's in Got Phangan, yeah? It's kind of like the Burning Man kind of party, or even Coachella, or like if you love
Coachella.
music, you would definitely go to the Full Moon party in
Okay.
Got Phangan.
Coachella in
One thing that
California.
Thailand is definitely known for
I'm
is
never
how
going
they
there.
interact with the rest of the world. Which brings us to the final chapter of this episode, the...
Friendship, friend zone.
So, due to their location and culture, Thailand has quite a history of branching out both to their neighbors and abroad.
One thing's for sure, Thailand has definitely made themselves known throughout the world. Here's how kind of plays out.
For one, Thailand is of course a huge international tourism hotspot, so of course everyone from Australia to Austrians love visiting, especially during peak season during December and February when the weather is the best. Nonetheless, no shocker, China alone outnumbers all of them combined, taking up over a quarter of the entire tourist demographic. Obviously, as mentioned, Thailand has the largest Chinese population in diaspora outside of China, let alone having much of their people historically
I can't speak
in the area.
Mandarin, and I don't want to be seen as an
China
American.
took place in the 50s when this former prime minister instituted lots of anti-Chinese campaigns and restrictions. Also, occasionally China keeps a close eye whenever Taiwan wants to get close to Thailand as well. But today they are close. They share numerous bilateral agreements like a free trade zone. China is their largest import partner. Their militaries cooperate, and the two are cool with each other. With that, India comes in, and it's more of a historic and cultural bond that dates back thousands of years within the Indosphere. Not only did the Buddhist faith migrate out of northeastern India, some argue Nepal, let's not get into that, but the Thai language also borrows a substantial amount of words from Sanskrit, as well as Pali, the sacred language of Theravada Buddhism. India has very close extradition treaties. They have infrastructure investment deals, especially in the India-Myanmar-Thailand highway project, and they have a growing education exchange program. The U.S. has had relations with Thailand since the 19th century, when the Treaty of Amity and Commerce was signed in 1833.
There's going to be an A
making
push.
them the first nation in Asia to have formal diplomatic relations with the U.S.
I'm not to say I'm ready for a push.
Relations have only grown. Later, Thailand
I mean, I'm
joined
kind of,
CITO,
but
which
I
led
still
to the
got
East
AP Euro,
Timor
so
Agreement.
I need to
2003,
focus on
they were
that,
labeled
and
a
then we can
major
focus on A
non-NATO
push
ally.
and
However,
AP
the
Bio.
closest inner
AP
circle
Bio is
to
probably going to be a
Thailand
hard
don't have to be
harder.
their fellow ASEAN
AP
nation
Bio is
countries.
going to be a
Granted,
lot
they've
harder
had
than
quite
A
a few
push,
historical
though.
wars with the Burmese, but
Because A
nonetheless,
push is
best
history,
friends.
and I like
Malaysia
history.
is the
AP
second largest
Bio,
tourist demographic.
biology.
Many have family just over the
I
border in
actually
South Thailand.
kind of find that
Indonesia is
interesting.
kinda
I
like the
kind
mediator
of do
between them and any
want to
drama
get
they
into
might
that,
have on the border
but
with Cambodia.
this is
The
brand
Philippines shares
new.
a lot of
This is
similar
not what I
cultural
look
tropes with
up
Thailand.
in
It's
YouTube,
almost like
so
just replace the Buddhist backdrop
it's
with
gonna
a
take some
Catholic
work.
one, and they are almost indistinguishable.
So,
When it comes to their best
yeah.
friend within this group, though,
Should be
nearly every
interesting
single
when
Thai
they all
person
get
I've ever talked to has mentioned the
to,
same country,
junior
Lao.
year.
Lao is like the
Then we
little
got
sister
the
of
visit
Thailand
tomorrow.
that has a slightly different way of doing things, but
Big year.
overall they totally get each other. It all started back in the 15th century in the Ayutthaya Kingdom, and despite being under French Indochina and
There
having some
is
skirmishes
French
on the border with
Indochina.
Thailand and
Took
claiming
them
that
about
the
like
Emerald Buddha was theirs,
32
and later
minutes
telling
to
the
say
government
that.
that kind of favored Vietnam. Regardless, they are
Unless
still considered the
you said
closest
it a while
relatives
ago
within
and
the
I
area and have
we're
deep
on a
ties. They
rambling
speak nearly intelligible
ItzJason
languages. They are
moment.
both predominantly influenced by Buddhism, and after you peel back all the layers of historical trauma, they cannot deny that in the end, they will always be family and care for each other.
Hey, man.
In conclusion, you're the Thai people. I'm going to head out. You guys take it. Ready, set, go.
Long-tail boats, street vendors, lots of good food, a lot of beautiful people, and a lot of smiles.
Well, it's pretty fun to party.
Fun people to hang out with.
Lots of fortune tellers, empaths, sensitive.
Again, circle back.
That was the episode. Hope you had a good one. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
Togo is coming up next.
Togo. It's a German old state, and then they lost it, you know. Otto von Bismarck should have done better. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Apologies for that. That's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully, I can upload a video very soon. Hopefully, I can upload maybe a Pixelcom video, and then I can do World Cup group stage draw video. I want to do that really bad. World Cup. Let's get ItzJason into it. Maybe I can leech off views. Hey man, I'm being honest, so that's what we do here at ItzJason. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Please like and subscribe. And anyways, see you guys next time.